Hello friends, welcome back. This is the third part of the series of videos regarding amendments to the bylaws of the society. We have seen earlier the amendments that are warranted because of the Amendment Act number 23 of 2019. In this video, we shall consider the amendments by virtue of the resolutions passed in the general body. There are two types of amendments that we are talking about. They are of the descriptive nature and they relate to areas and limits of the society. The other type are for funds, funds which are to be created for the amounts of money that will be received by the society through various sources. If we look at the descriptive kind, there are two types. One is that areas must conform with the conveyance deed. And second one is regarding the authorized share capital. When we talk about the funds, we have to look at three things. We have to first define a fund, then create a fund, and finally we have to mention in the bylaws how the fund is going to be utilized. We are talking about three funds. The first one is the Common Welfare Fund, which you must have noticed in the previous audit report. The second fund is the Maintenance Deposit Corpus Fund, and we shall be talking about it shortly. And the third is the Maintenance Deposit Interest Fund. The Common Welfare Fund, as the name suggests, is for the common welfare of the society members. And this is according to Bylaw 5 bracket D, which says that the society shall work towards enriching the life of its members through social, cultural, and recreational activities and programs. A part of the surplus every year, as determined by the general body, will be provided for this fund. Also, any donations that are received from any donor for any welfare purposes will also be deposited in this common welfare fund. The next thing we are going to take up is the Maintenance Deposit Corpus Fund. So by definition, a corpus is a permanent capital fund. The principal amount of this fund is protected and it is not to be used. Only the interest of the corpus can be used for designated and defined purposes only. These specific expenses are to be defined and specified by the contributors. Now, all of us, when we signed the agreement to sell, agreed to pay 3 lakh rupees in almost all cases as a maintenance deposit, which was to be transferred to the society according to clause 9.8. This amount which is being received by the society will form the maintenance corpus fund. So this was as far as the definition of a corpus fund goes. Remember, the corpus is to be used only for the purpose specified in its definition. So now talking about the Maintenance Deposit Corpus Fund. This fund has been created out of the maintenance deposits which are being transferred by the builder promoter to the society in order to comply with clause 9.8 of the agreement to sell. This is to be invested and only the accruals are to be used for purposes of expenditure. So by definition, it is created according to the sale agreement which every member has already signed. It is created out of the amount transferred by the promoter. So this will include the principal amount as well as whatever is the interest that has been earned on that. Finally, the utilization will be again according to the agreement to sell, which specifies that each flat purchaser and member of the society has agreed that whatever is earned on this corpus will be used for expenses mentioned in Annexure E and M. Annexure E and M refer to the services and amenities of Athashri. Now, as we saw earlier, the maintenance deposit corpus fund is not to be touched. The principal amount is to lie permanently as an asset and a capital of the society. The maintenance deposit interest fund, as the name suggests, is the fund that will receive the interest on the principal amount of the maintenance corpus. This is also in line with the agreement to sell signed by each individual flat purchaser. This fund, as we saw, will be created for the sole purpose of funding the maintenance and services defined in Annexure E and Annexure M. The utilization will, of course, be done by signatories of the society and AHPL. There will be 5 signatories, 2 from AHPL and 3 from the society, and you will require 3 signatures for any check to be paid towards these expenses. 1 signatory will be from AHPL, and there will be 2 signatories from the designated ones of the society. These people will be from the managing committee, which has been elected by the members. This is also in line with the agreement to sell conditions which each one of us signed when we took possession of the flat. So as a result of all these actions, the bylaws that will be amended are bylaw number 3, which refers to the definitions and interpretation of terms, and as explained earlier, it will cover definitions of all the funds as well as the areas and other things defining the society. It will also amend 4 and 5 for areas, bylaw 7 for raising funds, bylaw 8 for authorized share capital, which has increased because one unsold unit has been sold by the builder promoter, and bylaws 13 and 14 to define and to put in place the procedure for creation and utilization of the funds. That brings us to the end of this presentation. I will now just read out the summary of the general body resolutions which are going to amend the bylaws. The area and the share capital will be amended according to the ground reality, and also those bylaws which concern the definition, creation and utilization of the 3 funds described earlier will also stand amended. So friends, thank you very much for your attention, and bye-bye.